Thank you, Chairman. First, let me again welcome Lara Montecalvo and thank her for correcting an omission of mine in my opening remarks, which was to mention Rosary Thompson, who Senator Reid and I recommended for the First Circuit position. She will stay on as a senior judge on the First Circuit, so Lara will have the pleasure of working with her, and in particular, the commendation of Judge Thompson for the clarity of her writing is well merited. 2 days ago, I read her decision in the matter of removal to federal court of a state law liability case, which is about as tedious and complex and arcane a subject matter as exists in the law, and yet she made that 30-page opinion extremely lively, readable, and clear. And if Ms. Montecalvo can follow in those footsteps of liveliness and clarity of writing, she will be well served. We're extremely proud of Judge Thompson for her service, and of course are delighted that she's chosen to stay on as a senior judge on the First Circuit Court of Appeals. Two things I'd like to ask you, Ms. Montecalvo. One is about this enormous amount of support that you've received from prosecutors, former prosecutors, police chiefs, folks who've been in law enforcement all their lives and may now be serving on our superior and Supreme Courts. I think a lot of people who watch these kind of things assume that a prosecutor goes into the courtroom and a public defender goes into the courtroom, and from the first moment, they're mad at each other and in each other's faces, and that this is a bit of a brawl between law enforcement and public defenders. In Rhode Island, people cycle back and forth. They see each other at the market. It's a rather different environment, and I think it's conducive to a way of doing business that will serve Ms. Montecalvo very well as a judge on the First Circuit. And I'd just like you to take a moment and reflect on the legal environment in which you operate and why there is not that kind of, ad hominem and bitter strife.
Thank you, Senator. And I hope I don't choke up here because I am so incredibly moved by the letters from so many people that I've worked with over the last 20 years. In Rhode Island, people like me are in court every single day. And we fight one battle today, and we come back, and there are more cases tomorrow. And I think that's the key, because when you do that, you learn so much about the people who you're litigating against and working with. And rather than develop a bias towards prosecutors or defense attorneys or the law enforcement, I've developed a deep appreciation for the role of law enforcement in keeping our community safe, for the challenges that they face. And the same can be said for my colleagues in the prosecutor's office. And I think they've developed those same feelings for the work of the public defender's office as well. And so while our roles on both sides of the aisle are incredibly important, our justice system depends on us to be zealous and dedicated advocates to our cause. And everyone I know in the Rhode Island legal system does that.
Prosecutors and public defenders alike share zealous advocacy for their side, and that's what serves the judicial system, correct?
That's exactly it.
And in the context of somebody who shows up in court day after day after day after day after day, in case after case after case, is it different than somebody who just jets in for a particular case and then is gone in terms of the importance of your personal integrity and credibility through the series of cases that you bring?
Well, I think it is. You learn a lot about people as time passes, and Many of the people who wrote the letters, who supported me, saw me as a brand new attorney in district court. Many of the officers on that letter were police officers when I was a young misdemeanor district court attorney, and they would come in with the police reports, and I would come in representing my clients. And we would talk, and we would exchange ideas, and I grew to just respect and appreciate all of the people who fill these different roles.
Well, clearly it's mutual, and I'm delighted that you're here.